This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, on the day when more gunshots were reported in the city of Hazleton, we have an interview with the city's chief of police about an idea he has to get more officers on the force. Hi everyone, this is FYI. I'm Ken Cara. Thanks for watching. Before we get to our headlines, I want to say that our thoughts and prayers have been with and for WDBJ in Virginia after this morning's shooting, and also with the friends and family of reporter Allison Parker and videographer Adam Ward. And now to our headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. Hazleton City Police cordoned off an area of Cedar Street in the city after responding to a report of shots fired around 2:15 Wednesday afternoon. Their second report of shots today. According to our media partner, the Standard Speaker, police vehicles, fire apparatus, and wooden barricades blocked off traffic from the area of the investigation. Neighbors reported hearing 6 shots. Ambulances and helicopters were in the area. There were no confirmed reports of any victims. We'll have more information as we receive it. Check out our Facebook page and standardspeaker.com for updates. And earlier today, 8 police cars converged on an area in the city after a report of shots being fired. Police responded to the 100 block of North Cedar Street in Hazleton just after 11 a.m. Officers received multiple reports of shots fired in the area. No one was injured. However, bullet holes were found in a nearby structure. Officers are still investigating the incident. Anyone with information is asked to contact Hazleton Police by calling 911. All calls will be kept confidential. It's no secret that Hazleton Police Chief Frank D'Andrea would like to beef up his force in an effort to crack down on crime, and he's looking for creative new ways to finance it. FYI's Lisa Sugart sat down with the chief to learn about his plan to put more police officers on the streets of Hazleton.
The statistics are not made up. It is not me who wants to command a bigger force. It is me simply wanting to keep this city and this community safe. The first and foremost will be on the November election will be the question for people to vote yes for a tax, a property tax, that will go immediately for hiring 10 more cops. If when the numbers are crunched and that $1 million is only going to hire 8, 8.5, 9 cops, we're up that many. Right now we're at 34 cops. We just hired 4 cops that brought us to 36. And the same time that the 4 cops are here in training that brought us to 36, I just lost 2 cops last week. I'm back down to 34. So my solution is, the immediate solution is to vote yes for that tax. That's not the long-term solution, but it's the immediate solution that will give us the money that will let us start to dig out of this hole. And then we look at the renter tax. And this is an idea that I'm sitting back saying, we need to do something to not always put the burden on the property owner. Here is the gist of the renter's tax. There's 5,000 rental properties in the city of Hazleton. Each one of those properties averages 3 rental units per property. That's 15,000 apartments in the city of Hazleton. If you taxed the renter, which is the name on the lease of each one, not the family, and not each individual, just the renter, the name on the lease, $8 a month. Doesn't matter if you pay $5, $50, $500, you add 8 to the monthly rent. That would mean that 8 times 15,000 is $120,000 a month. It's $1,440,000 a year. Wow. That $1,440,000 hires 10 more cops and 6 code enforcement officers and a clerk. There's also $200,000 to $250,000 left in the general fund of the city should there be apartments that go unrented. And there will always be, you might only rent 80% of the units. And so that's built into the fact that, okay, we're not going to be out money every year. With that, the code enforcement officers are now responsible when a property owner calls and says, my apartment went vacant on the 15th of August. Code enforcement has 3 days to assign a new officer. They go do an inspection. They inspect the property. They verify that it is in fact vacant. That property owner doesn't have to pay for that rest of that 15 days and the following month. If we don't hear back from the property owner, we anticipate you've rented it. You now are back on the hook come October for your $8 for that unit. The clerk that's hired is going to be doing all of the making sure the tracking of the billing. And although some people will say, oh, it'll be hard to keep track of because these landlords are due a check or whatnot, there are programs that are out there, and it will not be as much of a nightmare as some people would lead you to believe. The fact is that there are some shrewd accountants in and around the area and some shrewd businesses, and I'm sure that the tracking of money owed the city could easily be done.
The final part of the chief's plan would be to create a think tank with area businesses in an effort to come up with an alternate tax to relieve property owners. Chief DeAndrew believes that a solution exists, but that the city will have to step out of the box to find it. You can hear more about the chief's plan on an all-new Sam Lissan show tonight at 9 p.m. Changes are coming to some of the traffic laws in downtown Hazleton. PennDOT continues to work on traffic flow in the downtown, and they are still listening to residents' concerns. Here's what they plan to do at some of the traffic lights in the area.
Well, ever since we got the Broad Street Corridor project essentially finished, a number of people have come to us and asked if we can look at some of the approaches to see if we can eliminate some of the no turn on red signs and the no turn on red bans that are in place right now. We did work with a local company here, and they were able to go out and to review and to study a number of intersections, and after that study was complete just this morning, we are pleased to announce that another 8 approaches will be eliminated, primarily on Broad Street 93 here in the Hazleton area.
That was James May from PennDOT. Now you can see the list of changes for right turn on red on our Facebook page. I know a bunch of people who are so excited for the Hazleton Town and Trail Run. Not me, I can't bend my right leg right now, so I'll watch the Dr. Mead Show on my phone while you watch our Healthy Living segment next. In sports, it's Dave Day, and we'll talk about Hazleton area football, and we'll find out what longtime Cubs fans really think of Joe Madden.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
The countdown continues to one of the largest street fairs around. Now there's just 17 days until FunFest 2015 in downtown Hazleton. I was just drawing a picture of FunFest right now. The fun, food, crafts, entertainment, along with the big parade take place September 12th and 13th. For more information, go to funfestpa.org.
Hey, let's get in shape right here on FYI. Each and every Wednesday, we're talking about some runs coming up and some walks. We're with Lou Mattioli, and he seems to be doing it all. Every time I turn around, you're involved in something. So thanks for joining us here on FYI.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Hazleton Half. Tell us what it is and when it's coming up.
Well, we're really excited. We obviously have the series of races, the Festival of Races. And so the Town and Trail and the half marathon that's part of that is the final of the Festival of Races for this year. So it's going to be October 17th. And we're really excited because it's not just one race. We're getting bigger and better with the second year that we're doing this. There's a 5K, there's a 10K, there's a half marathon, there's youth runs, we've got walks, we've got it all. So we're really encouraging people to come out and get out on the town or out on the trail with us and make it happen.
Yeah, there's all different levels participating. We have fast runners, we have walkers, we have people intermediate, we have people beginners. So there's all kind of people that are coming up for this. The trail itself, the Hazleton Half, it's the first of its kind. The trail was extended, I heard.
That's right. Again, it's the Town and Trail, so it includes Hazleton and the Rails to Trails. They've done some nice work out on the trail. They extended it, so we're going to be able to really get out there and enjoy the fall foliage out there.
Yes, we are. And, you know, stay local, support local. If you say there's nothing to do, there's a lot to do if you really open your eyes and ears and partake in your community. Now, staying local is key because there are a lot of runs going on throughout Pennsylvania that weekend because of how nice it is here in northeastern Pennsylvania in the fall. This race is probably the most inexpensive.
Absolutely. You know, as she said, we're keeping it local and we're keeping prices down to draw people into the community. The half marathon is only going to be $35, and that's a far cry from what you'd expect in some of the other races that you just mentioned.
We are looking for sponsors, so if you'd like to be a sponsor in any way, shape, or form, whether it be a monetary donation, you want to sponsor a t-shirt, or if you have a different idea, I'm sure that the group is open to any community support that they can get.
Absolutely. Even if you just want to volunteer your time to come out and, whether it's a water station or traffic control or parking, we're always looking for people to come out and help us out.
Before we wrap up, we do want to mention that this is in the morning, so it's not going to crowd up your entire day. You can get up, you can do your run. It's going to be very safe, right, as far as traffic?
Absolutely. We do a really great job of traffic control, even though part of the race comes downtown. We've got very good traffic control, and there's no concerns whatsoever.
All right, and I'm sure you're going to place first because you're like the fastest runner I know.
I'm going to do my best.
No pressure.
No, not at all.
Okay, Lou, thanks for joining us right here on FYI.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
What another excellent day to be outside, even if you're doing some work on a facade. Everyone who comes in to do an interview at our studio downtown here keeps saying how nice it is outside, how it must stink to be inside. Well, I want to say thank you to all of them for rubbing it in. And you know how many windows this studio has? Let's check out our local weather forecast from the National Weather Service. The answer to the window question is 0, by the way. Tonight, partly cloudy. Our low will be 53 degrees. On Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 71. Thursday night will be mostly clear. We'll get down to 54 degrees. On our Friday, it will be sunny with a high of 75. Friday night, another clear night with a low around 58. Saturday looks nice, mostly sunny. We'll get up near 80 degrees. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, low of 60. Sunday, partly sunny, high of 81. And Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low of 60. More nice days ahead.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Stop on in for a cold treat including our ice cream and yogurt, or some hot food including our burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazelton. Treat yourself today.
Well, attention all golfers. A big event is coming up on September 17th. It is the 5th annual golf tournament for Pennsylvania State Representative Tara Toohill, and it's being held at Blue Ridge Trail Country Club in Mountaintop.
Yes.
This is a big event that so many people look forward to each and every year.
Yes, we get lots of golfers, and if you're not a golfer, you're always welcome to come for dinner, raffle, festivities, and it's at Blue Ridge Trail this year. We moved it around. We try to go to all the different golf courses in the area. It's an all-day event, and it's September 17th. So if you wanted to sign up, we would love to have you out there, any golfers and non-golfers, and you can call Blue Ridge Trail directly as well if it's easier to sign up to golf on that day for the tournament.
Okay, so there'll be a day golfing. It is a shotgun start at noon. There's also lunch and registration from 11:30 till 1, and then the dinner buffet starts at 6 o'clock at night. So it is an all-day affair.
Correct. And one other thing, we're very lucky, Burger Family Dealerships, they always do the car sponsorship where you can win a car. It's actually a 2-year lease for a Buick Encore, a brand new car. So that's always gets people out there just to give it a shot.
Has anybody ever won?
No, not that I know. So
Well, maybe this is the year.
And in the paper, you usually never see, so it's really hit or miss. But I think maybe this is the year is right, so that'd be good.
All right.
Come out and try.
So they get to come out and spend a day outside, having a wonderful time, and they get to golf with the state representative at the same time.
Yes, I'll be there. So I'm going to do on one of the holes, I'll putt with every team. So I'm going to stay on the one hole and putt with everyone so that I do get a little bit of time with everyone that's there golfing that day. So we would love to have you. We get a good crowd and it's a good time. And unfortunately, in campaigns, you have to raise money all the time, every year. So we do get a good showing, and at least it's a fun event as well.
And if you would like more information, you can go to blueridgetrail.com. You also need to RSVP by September 10th, and the number to call is 717-884-8547, or you could call Blue Ridge too as well.
Yes.
So happy golfing.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa. Here's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers on FYI. Pick 2, 81. Pick 3, 275. Pick 4, 6980. And Pick 5, 11057. Lottery numbers on FYI brought to you by Boyer Insurance Agency with 2 locations to serve you, one in Cunningham on Sugarloaf Avenue and the other location in Nescapec on Broad Street. You can call Boyer Insurance in Cunningham at 570-788-3543 and in Nescapec at 570-752-7683. Dave Seaman from the Standard Speakers here to talk sports when we come right back.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Another Dave Day here on the Sportscast. Dave Seaman, sports editor at the Standard Speaker. Thanks for being with us once again. And Dave, we start with sad news out of Pennsylvania. After the Pocono IndyCar race this weekend, news coming out that Justin Wilson passed away. IndyCar driver, he was hit with debris from another car that wrecked during the race, had a head injury. And Dave, sad story, had 2 daughters and a wife that he leaves behind. But even in the press conference we aired here on FYI yesterday, one of his fellow drivers said he respected the way he fought back from a previous injury. And you said before this, you know, the guys know the risks when they get in the car, but a sad story.
Yeah, it comes with the territory, unfortunately. It's one thing that always moved me covering races at Pocono, NASCAR races mostly, is the prayer service they have before the actual race, and you just see a bunch of drivers with their families near them, holding on to them tightly. You never know when it could be your last race, and unfortunately a tragedy happened here at Pocono, and as they say, the show will go on. It's going to take a while, but they're hardened people. They know what they do, and they know the risks involved, like you said, and it's tough to deal with, but it'll move on.
Hard to segue or move on from that, Dave. Like you said, the show does go on. We have more sports to talk about locally. The Hazleton area Cougars, Dave, got their first scrimmage in. You and Steve Stallone were there from the Standard Speaker. What did you see out of the Cougars? It seemed like something positive for them.
There were a lot of positives. I thought the players looked a lot bigger, a lot more sure of themselves than they did early in last season. Of course, that comes with being in the second year in Coach Mike Brennan's program. Like I said, there's a confident air about them. Not every play was great. You expect that in the first scrimmage, but the plays were run crisply. There are no major penalties, no turnovers, I think, throughout the whole day, and they moved the football. And defensively, they were able to stop the run. Again, showing some mistakes by not being able to tackle well in some cases, but East Stroudsburg had some really strong outside skill people. But the Cougars had a lot to build on from that scrimmage.
Dave, let's talk about baseball. Recently on FYI, we mentioned the group called Elite Cubs Fans. They're helping out the Hazleton Integration Project, getting some kids tickets to go see the Cubs when they take on the Phillies on September 11th. When we were talking with one of the co-founders, Jason Gilly, Dave, I asked him about how Joe Maddon is doing. And admittingly, when you talk to people around here, they're a little biased for Joe Maddon. Here's what the Cubs fans think.
We're not happy at all with what Joe's done. That lessens it. They're ecstatic. We are just absolutely pumped, and they have way exceeded our expectations. Also, Theo's name needs to be Theo Epstein's name. Just needs to be thrown in there, as well as who's responsible for what has happened this year. But I'll tell you what, Maddon is the puppet master. He knows how to really get the most out of all his players, and everything he has done right now has just been spot on and leaves him beyond reproach. There's nothing you can really say or do that can change, what he's really done this year for the team. In other words, it couldn't have been any better. This is beyond anyone's expectations.
So, Dave, the Cubs fans very happy with Joe and what he's done so far this year. I was talking with Bob Curry at the Hip Center, and he said, listen, Vegas had the Cubs at about 500 this year. They're 20-some games over right now. So, a true success story. They seem happy in Chicago.
Yeah, I know. Well, they should be, too. The only problem with the Cubs right now is they're in a division with the Cardinals and the Pirates. Both teams playing exceptional baseball along with the Mets. But Cubs get in the playoffs, anything can happen. One game, if they don't win a division, it'll be a one game against probably Pittsburgh or St. Louis. And then put Joe Maddon's experience in a playoff game, I would take my chances.
It's amazing to me, even with that fan base out in Chicago, so crazy about their team, very passionate, and Joe just seems the perfect guy to weather that too. If things, did go bad or there's a bad stretch, Joe just seems to have that attitude where he keeps on the even keel.
Yeah, Joe's always been a 30-minute guy. 30 minutes you savor the win, 30 minutes you soak after a loss, and then you move on to the next day or your next whatever you have to do. And Joe's always been a staunch advocate of that, and his teams have shown that. Like in Tampa Bay, when they had a losing streak, they didn't let it fester. They never had any real clubhouse problems, and Joe's a big reason why for that.
Well, Dave, we appreciate your time today, and we look forward. Standard Speaker football preview coming September 4th, first day of the high school football season around here, so make sure you grab that. Make sure you're back here next Wednesday for another Dave Day. And now here's the FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard. Hey, look, a local high school score. It's starting to feel like fall. Crestwood beats Hazleton area in golf. Jaron Triano had the low round for the Cougars with a 37. The Cunningham Crusher, Russ Kanzler, was 1 for 5 in the Iron Pigs win on Tuesday. His double drove in 2 runs. The Rail Riders lost to the Red Sox. The Cubs are in second place in the NL wildcard standings, and the Giants are in third, so they're out of the playoffs, so this is a good win for the Cubs. Before we go to break, a little reminder that the Little League World Series United States Winners Bracket Final is tonight as Pearland, Texas takes on the kids from Lewisberry, Pennsylvania. Everyone will be talking about this game tomorrow. Williamsport will be packed with support for the Keystone Kids, so tune in tonight, 8 p.m. That game is on ESPN. The winner of that game goes to the United States Championship on Saturday. The loser will play the team from California in an elimination game on Thursday. That's sports for now. It's time for the Social Report. It's Wednesday, and here's some delicious alliteration. It's signature steak night at Bottlenecks. All of their signature steaks are only $9.95 plus bottomless soup and salad for only $2.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, Dr. Dino Padron will be guest speaker on Sunday, August 30th at the 10 a.m. service at Victory Bible Church in Junedale. A native of Birmingham, New York, Dr. Padron is the 9th president of Davis College. The public is invited to attend. For more information, please call 570-218-9612. Our next announcement, Community Bible Fellowship Church will be holding a free lunch Sunday, September 6th from noon to 2 p.m. Church is located at 458 West Spruce Street in Hazleton. Only eat-in will be available. For more information, just call 570-436-2061. And finally tonight, the 16th Annual Keystone State Hot and Stinky Garlic and Herb Festival will be held Saturday, August 29th and Sunday, August 30th at Zanolini Nursery and Country Shop. Come out for all the food and fun, including garlic farmers, crafters, and vendors, live music, delicious food, Chinese auction, and a garlic eating contest. Zanolini Nursery and Country Shop is located on St. John's Road in Drums. For more info, just call 570-788-3152 or check out ZanoliniNursery.net. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Gladys C. Johnston Coleman of Cunningham. Services Thursday at 8 p.m. at the Butler Chapel of Cropton Hughes Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. Marie T. Marusak of Beaver Meadows. Funeral is Saturday at 9:30 a.m. from the John J. Pustai Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. Helen Gronsky Mataskevich of McAdoo. Mass is Friday at 11 a.m. in the Church of All Saints. Friends may call Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. at the church. The Damiano Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. And Walter M. Rapaski Jr. of Harding. Funeral is Saturday at 10:15 a.m. from the Howell Lussey Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Mick Connolly of Mahanoy City. Mick, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Here's my picture of FunFest I was talking about. That's the parade. There's a guy in a pierogi costume. Should be fun in a few weeks. Tomorrow we continue our football previews. We check in with the Shenandoah Valley Blue Devils. We'll see you then. Take it easy, everyone.